central item of discussion today. That is, how do consumer characteristics influence our buying decision? Like we say that the consumer is the king. So how exactly does the consumer's buying decision impact our marketing? That exactly is what we intend to be exploring today. So we would be trying to look into this perspective. We have about 51 of you who have actually, around 52 of you who have actually joined the session, and it's about 9:25. We would be stopping the entry in about 5 minutes time, and then I think we will get underway. This is actually one of the challenges that exists with the class. That is a large class, because there are n number of people who are there. I would request, if Osama or Atik have joined, please respond. Okay, Atik, good morning. I wish that you help me out with the attendance for today, and please try to incorporate the attendance for today's class as well, as you've been helping me out. Uh, we exactly would be spending another couple of minutes. Then we'd be getting on with the basic elements that we intend to be taking up today. Uh, so the next important question that we intend to be looking today would be, what major psychological processes influence the consumer response to the marketing programs, which exactly are there for the different products and services? And finally, how do consumers make purchase decisions? It's a very interesting aspect that we all are in the process of interacting with products and services on a daily basis in the marketplace and the market space, and we take certain type of purchasing decision. We have an intent to purchase and we take purchasing decisions. So what exactly is the dynamics that goes inside the back of our mind when we exactly are in the process of making a purchase decision? That is something that we intend to be exploring in today's session as well. So we would be trying to see how exactly consumers end up making a purchase decision per se, and in what way do consumers stray from deliberate, rational, or decision processes? So sometimes, our decisions are not very rational or pragmatic, but rather we end up taking an irrational decision or an unpragmatic decision. And why exactly do we do that? That is also an item of discussion that we intend to be taking in this section of our context. So effectively, let us try to get on with the session, because we have n number of people joining on a very comfortable basis. But let me remind you that today happens to be a Friday, and we exactly have a lesser time slot. So I think we will just try to give it's about 9:28 as per my watch in the computer, and in about 2 minutes time I'm going to stop the admission of the students, and then we can actually focus on the session, because we can't be doing the entry at a convenience basis for the another 10 minutes, and that can become a big problem, because we have to be on time. And in fact, I would have stopped it in 5 minutes time, but I'm actually just being reluctant today that people are joining slowly per se. You got supposed to be on time, because 9:20 would have meant 9:20, maximum 9:22, but it's about 9:29, and still I feel that people are slowly per se joining the session at their own sweet time, and that basically is going to create a big problem because we are not effectively utilizing the time. Also, let me tell you that I have already shared the marketing management syllabus, which is there in the WhatsApp group. So you can actually go there and have a feel of the areas that we exactly have to cover, or the aspects that we have already covered unit wise. That exactly is towards the attendance per se. Sorry, the syllabus per se, and I think it's about 9:30, and we would not be admitting any more students. We would be getting on with the class. So, analyzing consumer markets is what we intend to be taking up today, and in that context, I would be discussing with you all a small caselet. Now, this is about creating markets by satisfying target customers. So we would be looking at something from about an Indian context, capitalizing on four contents. So sorry, we would not be entering any, allowing any more entry. So I would just message entry stop. So this exactly would mean that capitalizing on its 4 decades of experience in agri input market, the 4,152 crore business group, that is DCM Shriram Consolidated Limited, started something called as the Haryali Kisan Bazaar. This is a rural business center. So far, over 270 Haryali outlets have been set up across the 8 states of Haryana, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Andhra Pradesh. The concept of Haryali Kisan uh, Business Center, that is Haryali Kisan Bazaar, evolved from the core problem of Indian farmers: the lack of last mile delivery mechanism of modern agriculture, know-how and practices, poor availability of agri inputs, adverse effects of middlemen, costly and uncertain credit facilities, limitations in market accessibility for finished products. Each Haryali Kisan Bazaar outlet is a one-stop solution for farmers in the catchment area of around 20 kilometers. A typical center caters to the agricultural land of around 50,000 to 70,000 acres and impacts the life of approximately 15,000 farmers. The center facilitates round-the-clock support of qualified agronomists and provides a range of quality multi-brand agri-input like fertilizers, seeds, pesticides, farm implements and tools, veterinary products, animal feeds, irrigation items, and other key inputs like diesel, petrol at fair prices. Now, simplified credit and insurance, farm produce buyback opportunities, access to new markets, and output related services and other add-ons like FMCG, consumer goods and durables and apparels. These centers treat rural customers with respect and dignity. The atmosphere is kept informal and customers enjoy touching and feeling the offerings without any intrusion from store personnel. Haryali Kisan Bazaar tries to delight customers by providing online support on the latest technical advancements, weather forecast, and mandi prices. Most visits are for agricultural advice, of which around one-third culminate in purchasing of one or other agri household products. So effectively, you see, this market which exactly exists in our country, which exactly is the rural market, has tried to be assessed by something called as the Haryali Kisan Bazaar. This exactly was an initiative by the DCM Shriram Consolidated Limited, and 4,150 crore, 52 crore business group decided to look into around 270 Haryali Kisan Bazaars were there in India. So effectively, this is towards influencing consumers. So effectively, when we study of how consumers who comprise of individuals, groups, organizations, they end up selecting, buying, using, and even disposing goods, services, ideas, or experiences for satisfying their needs and wants. That is, how do they end up doing all these different activities towards satisfying their needs and wants. Also, this exactly behavior is influenced by the certain environments or factors like cultural factors, social factors, and personal factors. So effectively, we would be looking at all these dimensions in the context of consumer behavior. In fact, we are going to be looking at these dimensions simply because of the fact that consumer behavior is something which is going to be impacted by one and all, and this perspective is going to be used for different type of um, organizations for selling their goods and services. So effectively, if you want to see what exactly influences consumer behavior, we have got certain type of dimensions which are influencing consumer behavior. These are certain type of factors, and these factors are cultural factors that consists of culture, subculture, and social classes. Now, this is very important, especially in a domain like India. Now, what exactly does culture mean? So, culture happens to be a fundamental determinant of a personal wants and behaviors, the type of interaction that he or she has with their family and other key institutions. As a child who is growing up in India is exposed to certain values which are different from children who are growing up in other culture, and their achievements and successes, their activity, efficiency, practicality, progress, or material comforts, individualism, all of them are very different. How exactly they exert their comfort, humanitarianism, and youthfulness, all these factors are different. Now, many, for example, if you're looking at how children culture impacts children who are growing up in India, and the children who are growing up in US, this basically adds a huge amount of dimension into building their elements on the basis of which their behavior is actually transformed. So effectively, let's say, for example, a child growing up in India is exposed to respect and care for elders, honesty, integrity, hard work, achievement, success, humanitarian, and compassion. These are some of the values which exactly are rubbed off as an outcome of culture into a child's psyche when he or she is actually growing up. Also, now, for example, when we are trying to look at subcultures, that is, we have got groups, cultures within the cultures, and those are called as subcultures. Now, these subcultures are basically smaller cultures within a specific identification, like, for example, socializing with their members. Subcultures can include things like religion, nationalities, racial groups, geographical regions. These grow and affluent enough, and companies often design specialized marketing programs to serve them. Even tastes also change. Like, for example, if you're looking at the eastern coastal people, or western people, or northern Indian people, or southern Indian people, or central Indian people, all can be classified as subcultures. Or let's say, for example, even region, like, for example, you have got different people from Maharashtra, different people from Bengal, different cultures from Assam, from um, let's say Orissa, from Madhya Pradesh, from Andhra Pradesh, from Telangana. Basically, these can be defined as subcultures within the Indian culture. Then there is a certain other class which exactly falls within subcultures, that is within the subculture, that exactly can be classified as social classes. Now they basically have a relatively higher human homogeneity, and this basically is divided in the context of a society hierarchical order or with socio-economic classification, such as combination of people with let's say a dimension called as education. So people of a higher education level from a specific state or of a specific country can be defined as the social class with a within a subculture which is within a specified culture domain. So effectively, let's say for example, people of a specific state with a urban background or with a rural background or with an educational orientation or with a type of a group that they belong to or a type of a organizational entity that they belong to. So effectively, social class shows distinct product and brand preferences in many areas. So let's say, for example, if you are educated people, they might be operate using different type of products when you're looking at information technology related products and services. Also, the type of clothing, home furnishing, leisure activities, club membership, automobiles, they also differ. Now, also media preferences would be different. For upper class consumers, they prefer magazines and books. Lower class consumers often would prefer television. Within that class category, also such as TV, you have got upper class consumers may show greater preference to news and drama, while lower class consumers may lean towards a reality show and sports. Now, there can also be different aspects in terms of the languages, like for example, advertising copy, dialogue may ring true to the targeted social class. So effectively, these are some of the dimensions where exactly cultural factors they play a role towards defining the behavior of a consumer per se. So effectively, when we are going to be looking at different type of factors, I would be looking at something called as social factors for now. Now, social factor is in additional to the cultural factor, there are certain other reference groups such as family and social roles and statuses affecting our buying behavior. So how exactly our family impacts our buying behavior, the society affects our buying behavior, that also plays a very vital aspect. And within social factors, we've got reference groups that I would be talking about. These are groups that have a direct or a face-to-face or indirect influence on the attitude or a behavior of an individual. Now, groups having different direct influences are called membership groups. Some of these are primary groups which the person interacts with fairly consistently and continually and informally. Like for example, you have got friends, you've got your families, you've got your neighbors, you've got your co-workers, peers. Now these people belong to the secondary group. Now there can be other secondary group members also towards the reference group. Like for example, you have got a certain type of religious people, professionals, trade union groups, which tend to be more formal and require less continuous interaction. So the reference group can have a multiple number of subsections. It could have primary groups like family. It could have secondary groups like your professional or religious interaction. Now, reference group are seen in at least three ways. The first way is what reference groups do is that they confirm to the effect of a product or a brand choice. Let's say, for example, you're trying to buy something. You might discuss it with your friends and family that I'm deciding to buy this thing, and so they would either confirm or they would try to say that you can go for an alternative one because they feel that this might be a better option. Now, sometimes you might be influenced and sometimes you may not. Then there are certain aspirational groups that the person hopes to join. Let's say, for example, you want to advance yourself to a next level of society or a group of people that you exactly are aspiring to be a part of. So you try to use those products which they are using. Or dissociative group, that is a value of behavior whose value or behavior you reject. So you might not try to use certain products which exactly you do not have a liking for the group members. So probably there could be a product which exactly certain type of people are using, which those people you do not like. So anything they exactly are using, you would not like to be associated with using that sort of a product because you do not like that specific type of a, how a reference group plays actually a role in influencing your behavior. Then there are other aspects, like for example family is a very important aspect when it comes to um, how exactly family influences. Now, we exactly would be looking at family as they can be classified as family of procreation, like a person's spouse, children, wife. They are engaging in a specific type of a behavior towards purchasing a product or a service, and then they can be a family which is exactly of um, like for example you can also have a family which exactly could be the family of orientation. That is, it consists of your parents and siblings. So you can have family consisting of two types of categorization. One is family of orientation, that consists of your parents, your siblings, and then you have the family of procreation, that is uh, family that is originating from your end, that is a person's spouse and their children, uh, your wife, your husband, and their engagement in purchase, which exactly has a varied orientation towards the product category and their influences. Finally, we have got something which is called the role and the status. Effectively, what is within a family, club, organization, or a group are important source of information that also defines the behavior of an individual within the group or the role status. Now, the role here consists of the person's activities that you're supposed to perform. Each role comes with a connotes status. Like, let's say, for example, all of you are students, management students. So basically, you have a different type of an orientation in terms of the role and the status from the other graduate students of the Aligarh Muslim University. Also, the type of higher education students from among your location or among your community or among your society. So effectively, you basically would be operating at the role and the status of the position that you currently are presently associated with. So marketeers must be aware of this status symbol potential of products and brands. So they try to create a product, a brand, or a sort of a association which exactly is categorized and specially customized for the role and status that you actually perform. So these are some of the social factors which exactly entrench the different type of organization. So looking at the reference group, we've got a primary membership, that is membership groups, that is primary versus secondary. I have already talked about what exactly are aspirational groups, what exactly are dissociative groups, and what exactly are the opinion leaders. Opinion leaders are those who actually create an opinion about the type of products that you exactly are trying to buy, or how exactly it is going to impact your purchase decision. Now, I would be looking at one very interesting case study, which we'll be taking up right now. One caselet, this is from an Indian product, and this is a very interesting product. This is called the Titan Wedding Collection. You must have seen this brand being presented by Amir Khan, who exactly is the brand ambassador for this Titan Wedding Collection. And I would be going ahead with this case study right now, so please pay attention, and you will see how exactly consumer market impacts by this very interesting presentation, this interesting caselet that I'm going to talk about. So Titan Wedding Collection. Titan usually launches its wedding collections across major stores during the wedding season to cash in on the trends on purchasing watches as wedding gifts. Now, Titan watches, known for their style, superior design, innovation, and exclusivity, comes with unique promotional offers designed specifically to target the gifting market. For example, consumers purchasing Titan watches during the offer period are entitled to a silver coin or a 32-piece melamine dinner set or a cosmetic gift hamper. Now, such gifts have been well received by consumers during the wedding season, called the Wedding Carnival. Now, this promotional scheme is offered at all the outlets of the World of Titan. The Titan retail chain in 2011, in addition to the daily 3,000 daily assured gifts, customers were offered free mehendi or makeover at select outlets. This scheme was offered throughout the country except in cities of Ahmedabad and Bangalore, Hyderabad and Pune, and 4 metros. Now, designed to enhance the purity and romance of the marriage, the Titan wedding collection was priced along a wide range of rupees 995 to 17,995. So you see, a product which is like making this timepieces, that is watches, is basically trying to create a sort of an association in the context of consumers who exactly are associated in a different type of a situation, and offering products per se, that is selling watches called as the Titan wedding collection during the wedding season, and they're giving packaged gifts so that could be also extended to the uh, the bride and the groom. And also you see the punchline said soulmates, the Titan wedding collection series. So effectively it says you have basically a watch for the bride as well as a matching watch for the groom. So effectively you see, this is a sort of orientation that marketing is done for a specific product or a service, keeping in time the membership group, the aspirational domain, and the event around which the entire marketing theme is actually created. So effectively, these are some of the aspects of the reference group. We have also talked about what exactly is the family, that is family of orientation, that is your parents, your siblings, or your like for example your brothers and sisters, or the family of procreation, that is your family, that is where you exactly are the father or the mother, and then you have your spouse and then your children. So effectively this is the dimension in the context of family of orientation and behavior. Now there are certain personal factors which are exactly there, like for example the age or the stage in life cycle, occupation and economic circumstances, personality and self-concept, and lifestyle and values. So we would be looking into these aspects about the different aspects of personality and self-concept. Now, personality and self-concept towards the personal factors or things like age or lifestyle. Like for example, the type of our taste in food, clothes, furniture, recreation is often related to our age. So consumption is also shaped by family life cycle, and the number uh, that is comprised around 63% of all families that is in India are nuclear families, and basically we are having average size estimated to about 4 to 4.5, with an urban family size of 4.2 and the rural as 4.7 members. In addition to psychological lifestyle, adults experience certain passages or transformation as they go through their life. Their behavior as they go through the passages, such as becoming a parent, is not necessarily fixed but changes with time. So marketeers would contain these critical life events or transition, like for example, marriage, childbirth, illness, relocation, divorce, first job, career change, retirement, death of a spouse, as giving a new need. Now, these alert the service providers, like for example, you have bankers, lawyers, marriage, employment, and bereavement counselors, the way to help. Now, these, for example, the wedding industry that I just talked about attracts marketers to a whole new host of products and services. So effectively, ages and the stages in life cycle also plays a very vital role for defining the different type of personal factors towards the products and services which are being offered. Then we have got occupation and economic circumstances. How exactly do they tailor the different type of products and services which exactly are offered? Like for example, you have got computer software companies, for example, designing different products for brand managers, engineers, lawyers, physicians. And as the recent recession clearly indicates, both in recently with the impact of COVID, how exactly brands and products exactly have been impacted with the recession that exactly has been there. The debt, the borrowing power, the attitude towards spending and saving, all of them have changed with the COVID norms that exactly have devastated our economy and has dented the purchase pattern per se. Also, let's say, for example, even uh, consumer goods or consumer durables or also have had to change their impact, and also discounting their goods and services per se. A personality and self-concept is another important aspect where basically, and it impacts the buying behavior or influences the consumer behavior of an individual. Now here we would be like trying to see like brands have their own personality and consumers like to choose brands whose personality match their own. So we call it as brand personality. These are specific mix of human traits that can be attributed to a specific brand. Like for example, sincereness, down to earth, honest, wholesome, and cheerful. This is one type of a brand personality, sincerity. Then excitement is the second brand personality, that is daring, spirited, imaginating, and up to date. The third brand personality can be called as competence, which exactly means reliable, intelligent, and successful. The fourth can be called as sophistication, that is upper class and charming. And the fifth could be ruggedness, that is outdoors and tough. So David Acker, he analyzed some of these well-known brands and found that a number of them tended to be strong on one particular trait. Like for example, you have got Levi's Strauss. This jeans is on the dimension of ruggedness. MTV on excitement. If you're talking about CNN, cable news network, this is on competence, and Campbell's on sincerity. Now these brands will in theory attract higher users on the same trait as personality brands have been several attributes. Like Levi's suggested a personality that is also youthful, rebellious, authentic, and American. So you see, there are different aspects which exactly are there. Across cultural study of generalizability of Acker scale outside US found 3 to 5 factors applied to brands in Japan and Spain, but peacefulness dimension is replaced by ruggedness, both in Japan and Spain, and passion dimension emerged in Spain instead of competence. So you see, these basically are these different dimensions that I talked about in terms of the personality and self-concept is also impacted by the culture where exactly you exactly are from. So self-concept is how we view ourselves. How do we look at ourselves and how do we look at brands? And then we try to see ideal self-concept and self-concept, how products are actually consumed owing to the type of brand that basically we have. So like for example, if you look at a product called Axe. Now if you look at this product, it's actually a deodorant, but this caters to consumers who want others to view them as attractive and appealing. So I would be talking about a small caselet of Axe deodorant right now, and that would give you an understanding of the personality and the personality self-concept. So Axe was launched in India in 1999. This is a global brand which is available in more than 60 countries. Axe has consistently strengthened its image of a cool, iconic youth brand to become the #1 male deodorant in India. The scent of Axe has been created by Anne Gottlieb, an international diva of fragrances who was earlier associated with Revlon. The formulation of the product includes an aromatic base, which is expected to be more efficient. Hence, the brand claims that Axe helps to enhance the appeal of the user. Axe has an anti-establishment brand and was positioned as a magnet for the fairer sex. The deodorant market in India was estimated to be 900 crores in 2011 and probably must have doubled by now. with men's deodorant accounting for just 70% of this. Its size is likely to treble in the next 5 years. Axe 8 different ranges are suffixed by high voltage emotions like instinct, temptation, pulse, denim, and click and touch. So effectively, now you say the punchline for Axe deodorant is, well, even angels will fail. New age provoke, new age provoke, where even angels will fall. So this exactly is the type of connotation that products exactly are trying to create, brands which exactly are in self-concept with an individual's personality and self-concept. So I think we will stop now because we exactly are around at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. and we exactly have another class which is back to back, and I have to attend to that session. So with this, we would be continuing with the session that is towards analyzing consumer markets with our session that is stated tomorrow. I would once again request all of you to join in the first 5 minutes, because otherwise it becomes a big challenge to conduct the class as well as act to allow one by one people joining at their own convenience. So it is at your own interest, so that we would be locking the attendance, whether you try to join some sort of a technical problem or because of your own pre like appointments or associations or your like priorities. You have to decide that it is in your interest to get connected to the class because of the huge number of students who are joining. Chances are that yes, internet could be playing a havoc, but then you have to be on time, because that exactly is very vital for any success of any sort of a session. So that's about it for the day. I would be calling off my trusted volunteers to help me with my attendances as they've been doing it, and post it to me so that I can keep a track of those of you who were present in the session for today. So with that, we would be coming to an end of this session, and thank you very much. See you next
Thank you, sir.
day. That
Thank
okay.
you.